Everyone, changes that are happening in organization in society. What is the mechanism of waves of change? What is the ultimate epicenter for the change? Well, I'm a professional change agent, so I'd like to talk about what is the mechanism of change. When you attend MBA course, you learn the corporate transformation comes from top management, nurture a sense of crisis, meaning that the true epicenter is the leader of the top management of the company. Is that really the case? I wonder. In the reality, I think maybe that's not really the case for how the change happens. As I'm engaged in change agent, it's been 5 years. I see 500 to 600 clients. I have interaction with them. And based on my experience, I have one ultimate truth that I've learned. And this is really a human, kind of a naive topic, that the potential of the humans is unlimited. Everyone can change themselves. And plus, the moment of one changing themselves, the pressure would become a great driver to change. So as a change agent, I encounter people who are lost in their lives. Like people who are finding their job so boring, or people think, oh, they just have to tackle with their job, or I see clients that they just wanted to leave the company tomorrow. But surprisingly, those people who are kind of lost, in just few months, they would make dramatic change. And people saying, oh, the job is so boring. All of a sudden, they're saying, here's the future that I wanted to design. Here's how I want to change the company. Or here's the world that I want to develop. So this is the step I want to take. They're very passionately talking about their aspiration. And in just a few months, what exactly happened? When I really have a deep dive analysis, and it all comes down to this thing, that these people have really reflect the deep down passion or the future that they wanted to achieve. They really have a deep dive analysis of the true motives, and they come to realize the true future that they wanted to realize. And when people realize what they truly want to do, and those things, you don't find them just because you're told to do that. It just kind of drives from the bottom of your heart, and those pressure drives a big change. And once you find that, you're not unwavering, you're very confident in what you want to do. And because you really want to achieve the future that you've designed. And it takes a lot of energy and resource to change around you, but you have a great, enormous energy to make that happen. So if you have people all over, and those people can stimulate each other and make a bigger change. So I think the ultimate epicenter of the change is, if there's an answer for that, I would say that is the individual, the enormous, deep down in their heart, the passion that lies in the bottom of the heart, or the true desire or the future that they wanted to build. And the moment they come to realize what they really want to find in their life, that's the epicenter for the change. Well, if that's the case, if each individual in the world would have those, can I make the mechanism? So that's how I think. Unfortunately, the reality is not catching up to that world. According to 2011 survey for a business person in people of 20s and 30s, 70% of the Japanese people have no future dreams or aspiration in the future. And Cabinet Office has a youth survey. And by engaging into the world, can you change the world? To the question of that, the people who said, yes, I can change the world with my engagement, in US and Germany, 50% of the youth said, yes, I can change. But in Japan, it's less than 30%. So let me make a confession. Just until 5 years ago, I was right in those category who could not believe in the future. I had 15 years career that has been built until that time. But in those 15 years, I never thought I could change the world. Or aspiration and passion, yes, that's important. And it's nice to have, but like to have it, it's very tiring and takes a lot of energy because I've got so many things that I have to do. And if I work very hard every day, I'll get somewhere someday. That was my feeling back then. So there are many people like me some years ago, and I come to realize that. Now, on the other hand, those people, in just a few months, I have learned that those people can make a dramatic change in just a few months. So meaning that there needs to be some mechanism or switch of the change. And I wonder, what is the mechanism behind the change? When I have consultation with 500 people who made a dramatic change, what are the environment? What really drive them for change? I come to have true deep dive analysis of the reason. Just recently, I discovered the switch of this change. And this switch is very simple, and it's old-fashioned, but it's something very new, which is people who would genuinely believe in others' potential and really push the back of someone. The power that drives others' people change, that is the switch. And all the people who made a dramatic change, they all had a very supportive busybody type of people who were interfering in their life. And those supportive busybodies were in the believers of the potential of their change more than the people who were making change, because those potentials were unlimited. That's how the supporters believed in the people. And because of that, they questioned, is that really what you wanted to do? Hey, you're settling down in a very small success. What is the true vision of your life? What is that you really want to do in your life? They question and they ask the question. So this loving, very loving, supportive busybody is an enormous power. And that's when I come to realize. Why? Because the vision or aspiration of life, there's no deadline. There's no due date. Like, they would not say, hey, in this quality, I want the output by this day. Because when you think about these things in your day-to-day life, the priority goes down because you have other things in your life. But those supportive busybody people who are genuinely caring for the change of someone, and if there's a love and a true expectation and their desire for them to make changes, and when you come to realize that, and that would become a very wholesome pressure for others to make change. And let's face it, seriously, and what is that I really want to do in my life? I shouldn't be just wasting my years and years, and maybe I need to come to make a big decision and make a deadline to come to my true aspiration of life. Well, actually, I was also in that case. Until 5 years ago, I encountered a big change in my turning point in my life. A person in my life asked me, what is the vision of your life? That was the first time I was asked, what is the vision of your life? I could not answer to that question at all. And I was shocked that I couldn't find the answer for that. Well, I was shocked because I couldn't find the answer. And the other thing is, the person was very genuinely and really believing in my potential. There's got to be something that I really have a vision. And because I sensed that. And although I couldn't respond to that, so I was very shocked. And then I realized I have to make change. So since then, I have seriously faced myself. It was a very agonizing process because it wasn't an easy job to find what I truly want to do. And I almost stumbled many times. I was in tears, like I thought, oh, I will just give it up. And I wanted to escape from the reality. Every time I was about to escape, and there was a very supportive busybody around me, and they said, hey, you're not serious about it. That's not going to make it happen. They were very seriously giving me loving support. And I didn't run away from that situation. I kept facing myself. And I have really found what I want to do, and I found that. And here I'm standing before everyone and I'm saying I'm a professional change agent because there was someone very supportive, busybody, believed in my potential and kept pushing the button for the change. So I think for a person, to make a drastic change by themselves, it's very difficult. But what is so wonderful is we can believe in someone and we can push the switch of others' change, and we can do that. And if we can do that, I think the next waves of change, the epicenter of the next waves of change, are by pushing the button of the switch, and you become a supportive busybody of other people, and to really care and value those supportive busybody, and you really have a determined to make changes. And if we have becoming very serious about making changes, and I think that's the future change. Recently, I have calculated, and I was very shocked to come to this fact. For instance, let's say your remainder of life is 60 years and there's only 3,000 weeks left in your life. And this very, very precious life, the time that you have in your precious life, for what purpose? For what kind of future building are we investing your time? We have to seriously face this question. And plus, we shouldn't do this by ourselves. We need to do this with someone that we can truly trust. And if everyone can do that as a very normal thing, I am so sure that our future will become so diverse and innovative. And I think we could create a wonderful society. And that's what I believe in. And I hope today is going to be the first day to make that happen. I wouldn't be more happy in that as a change agent. Thank you.